they did exactly what we needed to do. They were confused and they didn't know what to do. And a player like Mo Salah, who's a world star, was very, very quiet. So that game, for me, it set a tone. And now then we had Nigeria, knowing that we'd beaten them, knowing that we got a handle on them, and we played in very similar fashion. And the only difference was that we weren't as clinical and we weren't as aggressive. And again, Roar said after the game, he says we knew that they would struggle to reproduce after 3 days the blistering pace that they showed against Egypt, and he was correct, because mentally it's really, really difficult to reproduce that quality. So there were little things like the aggression in our pressing that we didn't get 100% right, and the opening of the field on transition, so our players had space and we could move and we could expose them. But we still had better possession. We were still more competitive. We defended our goals well. So it was a game right up until the finish. And again, perception is an unbelievable thing, isn't it? If we'd held out and gone into extra time and it had been decided on penalties, everybody would have been, wow, what a game. And then the naysayers, oh well, you didn't go, you lost that one as well. So, perception. Ask the Ghanaian coach. He's probably going to be without a job, because the team he was playing against, their main player should have been sent off in the first minute, but he doesn't. He stays on and he scores 2 goals, and Ghana go out. So perception is an unbelievable thing in our game. So we go out against Nigeria, and I think the players have had as good an AFCON as we have any right to demand from them. Are we coming back as heroes because we're victorious? No, we're not. We're not, because we didn't win it, and we should look at that and say, and we wanted better. But what we are doing is, when we sat out a year and a half ago on this journey, we said we'd got certain goals, and one of the goals was to qualify for a major tournament moving forward, so that this group of players would gain that benefit for the long term. They did that in Libya. They made sure that they told the rest of Africa that we don't come just to make up the numbers. And I think we played equally with the best teams on the continent. And I think that in itself is to the credit of the players. So that progress is one of the targets we had. The other one was obviously for the supporters, but that was one of the targets we had. Now I think no one can take that away from the players. The result against Egypt is a diamond in South African football history. That will be talked about for a long time. The players that are on the field, they'll meet each other in 10 years and they'll say, without saying in their eyes, they'll say, do you remember that night in Cairo? Because if you're a South African and you're in Cairo that night, it's a special night. So the boys need to have a massive pat on the back, not as the great heroes, but as good professionals that have represented their country well. And as the HOD says, it was very difficult circumstances. The heat, the opponents, we played the best on the continent, and these lads equipped themselves excellently. And for that, they should get a massive pat on the back. Knowing that there's a lot of work to do, yes, everybody's aware of that. But I think for now, I think South Africa should embrace the squad that when it's come back and say, you have our support, go forward and make us proud once more. Thank you.